God says, I want you to be with this person. The name will shock you. My child, please stop for just a moment and listen with your heart. I know you were about to keep scrolling, looking for something else to catch your eye. But right now, the universe has actually paused your timeline. There is a specific reason why you are seeing this at this exact second. God is ready to reveal a name to you that is going to leave you speechless. This is the name of the person you are truly meant to be with, the one who has been written in the stars for you since before you took your first breath. You have spent so many nights wondering when your turn would come. You have looked at the sky and asked for a sign, wanting to know who is really supposed to walk this long journey of life by your side. Today, the silence is finally breaking. God is pointing his finger directly at one specific person just for you. Please do not skip over this message, because the identity that is about to be shown to you is going to shock your entire system. This is not just a random guess. It is a divine appointment that has been set for this very week. Perhaps you have already met this person and overlooked them. Or maybe they are rushing toward you right now with the speed of light. If you turn away now, you might miss the very thing that leads you to your ultimate destiny. Right now, the angels are gathering around you because they know how important this moment is. This person is the missing piece to the puzzle of your life that you have been trying to solve for years. Lately, you might have felt a strange magnetic pull in your spirit. You have had this persistent feeling that something massive is about to change in your world. And I am here to tell you that your intuition is accurate. Something is shifting. Something is moving. Something hidden is beginning to come into the light. Stay with me until the very end, because we are about to unveil exactly why God has chosen this person for you. Their presence in your life is going to do more than just bring you love. They are the key that will unlock the abundance and the blessings you have been praying for in your quietest moments. Leaving this video now would be like walking away from a treasure chest just as you hear the lock click open. Something huge is waiting for you in these next few minutes. A revelation that goes far beyond simple romance. This is about your soul's true purpose. This is about the healing you have been seeking. This is about the person who was chosen to walk beside you when your life finally enters its next chapter. This person holds the key to your emotional recovery. They carry a calmness that your heart has been searching for. They carry a loyalty that your past could not give you. They carry a type of love that will not confuse you, abandon you, or make you beg for clarity. God wants you to be fully prepared when they finally step into the light. Keep your eyes fixed right here, because the clues to identifying this person are starting to drop into your spirit right now. You need to catch every single one of them, because this blessing has your name on it. My chosen one. The universe is rearranging your entire path today, because the person God wants you to be with is likely not who you think it is. You might have dismissed them in the past. Maybe you called them only a friend. Maybe you thought they were too quiet. Maybe you thought they were not your usual type. Maybe you felt something strange around them, but ignored it because your mind could not explain it. But the spiritual veil is being lifted today, so you can finally see the truth. This person may have been standing closer than you realized, not forcing themselves into your life, not begging for your attention, not chasing you loudly, but quietly carrying an energy that keeps returning to your spirit. Do not ignore this sign, because if you do, you may continue chasing the wrong people while your true soulmate waits in the shadows, ready to give you the peace your heart has been crying for. This is a critical intervention designed to save you from more heartbreak. It is a guide toward the one soul who was handpicked by the divine to protect your heart. This is a moment of spiritual exchange, and your spirit must be open enough to recognize it. Take a moment right now and breathe slowly. Let your heart become still. Let your mind stop fighting. Let your soul listen. Because God is not only revealing a person, God is revealing why every other connection had to fail. Every disappointment had a reason. Every closed door had a purpose. Every delay was protecting you from someone who could not carry the weight of your destiny. This person is different. Their energy is different. Their presence is different. Their role in your life is different. And when you finally understand who they are, everything that once confused you will begin to make sense. Comment 777 if you are ready for God to reveal the person meant for you. Comment 777 if you believe your true love is closer than you think. Comment 777 if you are ready to stop chasing the wrong people and receive the one chosen for your soul. Something huge is waiting for you, including a secret about this person's name that carries a vibration specifically matched to your own soul. God is revealing that this person has a specific quality you have always craved but never found in anyone else. They have a way of making your spirit feel safe. They do not have to speak loudly. They do not have to impress everyone. They do not have to perform. Their energy alone carries peace. And that is one of the first clues. Because the person God wants you to be with will not awaken fear in you. They will awaken rest. They will not make your heart feel like it has to chase. They will make your heart feel like it can finally come home. Stay until the end, because the next revelation will give you a specific clue that will make your heart skip a beat. It will help you identify them instantly, so there is no more confusion. The truth is closer than the breath you are taking right now, and you need to keep listening to catch it. My precious soul, listen closely, because the identity of this person is wrapped in a mystery that is about to be solved right before your eyes. The angels are indicating that this person has actually been in your energy field before. It might be someone from your past who has gone through a massive spiritual change just to be ready for you now. Or it could be someone you always thought was out of your league, someone you admired quietly, someone whose presence made you feel something you could not explain, someone who crossed your path more than once, but the timing was not right. God is saying the chapter of missed connections is officially closing. A divine orchestration is happening right now that will defy all human logic. This person was once blocked by circumstances, by distance, by fear, by wrong timing, or by the fact that both of you still had lessons to learn. But God has been silently moving those barriers out of the way while you were sleeping. A major shift has happened in the spiritual world, clearing the path for a connection you once thought was impossible. And what makes this so powerful is that this person is not coming only to love you. They are coming to help you rise. They are connected to your healing, your confidence, your purpose, your future, and even the blessings you have been praying for in secret. Their arrival will not just change your relationship status. It will change the direction of your life. Stay with this message, because what comes next is the first real signs about this person's name. Energy and divine purpose will begin to unfold. And when you hear them, your spirit may already know exactly who this is. The angels are showing that this person is not entering your life by accident. They are being positioned, prepared, guided, and slowly moved toward you by a force much greater than chance. You may not see the full picture right now. You may only see pieces, a name that keeps appearing, a memory that returns without warning, a person who crosses your mind at unusual times, a strange feeling that something is unfinished. But God sees the entire story. He sees the beginning. He sees the delay. He sees the hidden preparation. And he sees the moment when everything finally comes together. This is why you must not judge this connection by what it looks like right now. Because some divine unions look confusing before they become clear. Some blessings look delayed before they arrive. Some people look ordinary before God reveals their true role in your life. The person God wants you to be with may not appear in the way you expected. They may not come with loud promises. They may not come with dramatic words. They may not even come from the direction you were watching. But when they come, your spirit will recognize something. A peace, a warmth, a quiet certainty, a feeling that says, "This is different. This is not like the others." This person carries a name that may already be familiar to you. Maybe you have heard it before. Maybe you have seen it repeatedly. Maybe it appears in songs, messages, dreams, social media, or random conversations. And every time it appears, something inside you pauses. That is not meaningless. That is not random. That is not your imagination. Sometimes God repeats a sign until your spirit finally pays attention. And this name is connected to a frequency your soul already recognizes. It may not be the full name yet. It may begin as an initial, a letter, a nickname, a sound, a place, or even a memory attached to a person. but something about it will feel strangely familiar, like your heart already knows what your mind is still trying to understand. This is why the name will shock you, not because it is impossible, but because once it becomes clear, you will realize the signs were there all along. You will remember moments you ignored. You will remember conversations that felt different. You will remember dreams that carried hidden meaning. You will remember times when their name appeared and you brushed it away. And then suddenly everything will connect. God is not only revealing a name, He is revealing a pattern, a trail of signs that has been following you longer than you realized. This person has a certain energy. They may not be the loudest person in the room, but their presence has weight. They may not force attention, but something about them stays with you. They may not speak in dramatic ways, but their words can settle deep in your spirit. They are not coming to impress your eyes only. They are coming to bring peace to your soul. That is how you will know, because the person God wants you to be with will not make love feel like a war. They will not make your heart live in panic. They will not make you question your worth every day. They will bring a peace that feels unfamiliar at first, because you may have been used to confusion. You may have been used to chasing. You may have been used to waiting for someone to choose you. But this person will make you feel chosen, not through empty words, but through consistency, through presence, through care, through the way they show up when it matters. And this is why God had to hide them for a season, because if they had come too early, you might not have recognized them. You might have judged them by your old wounds. You might have rejected peace because chaos felt more familiar. You might have mistaken safety for boredom. You might have overlooked the one person whose love was designed to heal what others broke. But now something is changing. Your spirit is becoming ready. Your heart is becoming softer. Your eyes are being opened, and God is showing you that true love does not always arrive wearing the face you imagined. Sometimes it arrives through someone humble, someone patient, someone steady, someone who has been quietly becoming the answer to your prayer. Comment 222 if you are ready to recognize the person God has chosen for you. Comment 222 if you believe the right person may already be closer than you think. Comment 222 if your heart is ready for peace instead of confusion. There is another clue you need to understand. This person has gone through a season of preparation. They were not always ready for you. There was a time when they carried fears, a time when they carried wounds, a time when they did not know how to love with the depth you deserve. But God has been working on them, privately, quietly, deeply. He has been removing old patterns, breaking pride, softening their heart, teaching them patience, teaching them emotional responsibility, teaching them how to recognize something rare when it appears. And you are part of what they are being prepared to recognize. They may not know it fully yet, but their spirit is being pulled toward yours. Their heart is becoming aware. Their thoughts are becoming stirred. Their soul is beginning to remember something it has not yet met completely. That is why this connection may feel spiritual before it becomes physical. You may sense them before you see them. You may dream about them before you speak to them. You may feel their energy before their name becomes clear. This is how divine timing works. First, the spirit receives the message. Then the heart begins to understand. Then the physical world begins to align. And when the alignment is complete, the meeting happens. The message comes. The door opens. The name appears. The person steps forward. And suddenly, what felt invisible becomes undeniable. God is saying this person is not coming to waste your time. They are not coming to repeat your old pain. They are not coming to play with your heart. They are coming with purpose. They are coming with lessons already learned. They are coming with a heart that has been shaped by experience. They are coming because heaven has marked this connection for something deeper than ordinary attraction. This is why their name matters. Because a name carries identity. A name carries memory. A name carries spiritual recognition. And when God finally highlights this name to you, your spirit will feel it. You may feel peace. You may feel surprise. You may feel tears rising. You may feel a sudden knowing you cannot explain, because this will not feel like guessing. It will feel like confirmation. The person may have a name that begins with a letter you have been seeing often, or a name connected to someone in your past, or a name that appears suddenly in a place you did not expect. A screen, a message, a song, a dream. a conversation, a sign. Pay attention, because God often speaks through repetition. And if a name keeps coming back to you, do not ignore it. There may be a reason, but remember this. The name is only one clue. The piece is the confirmation. The character is the proof. The consistency is the evidence. Because God will not send someone who destroys your spirit and call it love. He will not send someone who constantly confuses you and call it destiny. He will not send someone who breaks your peace and call it a blessing. The person God wants you to be with will carry a love that makes you feel safer, stronger, and more aligned with your purpose. And when you meet them or recognize them, something inside you will become calm. Not anxious, not desperate, not fearful, calm. That calmness is one of the strongest signs. Stay with this message. The delay was never a punishment. It was preparation. There were moments when you questioned God. You wondered why other people seemed to find love so easily. You wondered why your own story felt slower. You questioned why relationships kept ending, why certain doors kept closing, why people kept walking away. But today, God wants you to understand something that changes everything. The people who left were never meant to stay. The relationships that ended were never meant to become your future. The disappointments that broke your heart were not proof that God forgot you. They were proof that He refused to let the wrong person occupy the place that belonged to the right one. Every delay protected something. Every goodbye created space. Every closed door removed someone who could not carry your destiny. The person God has chosen for you had their own journey. They also had lessons to learn. They also had healing to complete. There were parts of their character that still needed to grow. There were fears they needed to overcome. There were mistakes they needed to learn from. God could see what neither of you could see. If your paths had crossed too early, both of you might have walked away. Not because the connection was wrong, but because the timing was not ready. Sometimes love is delayed because character must arrive before commitment. Sometimes blessings wait because wisdom must come first. Sometimes hearts must heal before they can recognize each other. This person has changed more than you realize. The version of them that is coming toward you is not the same person they were years ago. God has been reshaping them, teaching them patience, teaching them humility, teaching them how to love without fear, teaching them how to stay instead of running, teaching them how to value what is rare. The same thing has been happening in your life. Perhaps you do not even notice it, but you have become stronger. You have become wiser. You have become more careful about who you allow into your heart. You no longer chase people who refuse to choose you. You no longer settle for empty promises. You have learned the difference between attention and genuine love. That growth matters, because the person God is bringing into your life needs the version of you that exists today, not the version you were years ago. Both of you have been growing separately. Now heaven is beginning to bring those two paths together. This is why your spirit has felt different lately. You may have noticed yourself letting go of old memories, forgiving people who hurt you, feeling less attached to the past, feeling strangely hopeful without knowing why. That is not an accident. It is preparation. God often prepares the heart before He changes the circumstances. He changes you first. Then He changes your environment. Then He changes your relationships. And finally, He reveals the blessing. The person chosen for you is also feeling a change. Even if they cannot explain it, they may feel drawn to become a better version of themselves. They may suddenly care more about peace than excitement. They may begin praying more, reflecting more, thinking differently about relationships, wondering why someone keeps coming into their thoughts. Their heart is slowly becoming ready for the same connection your spirit has been preparing to receive. That is why divine timing feels mysterious. Two different lives, two different journeys, one perfect meeting. And when that meeting finally happens, both of you will understand why nothing worked before. Nothing was meant to replace this. Nothing was meant to interrupt this. Nothing was allowed to destroy what God had already planned. Comment 333 if you believe God's timing is always better than your own. Comment 333 if you are ready for the relationship that brings peace instead of confusion. There is another truth you need to hear. Do not become so focused on guessing their name that you ignore their character. Names can be shared by many people, but character cannot be copied. The person God has chosen will reveal themselves through consistency, through kindness, through honesty, through respect. They will not force you to wonder where you stand. They will not disappear every time life becomes difficult. They will not ask you to shrink yourself just to keep them comfortable. Instead, they will encourage your purpose, celebrate your victories, protect your peace, and remind you that real love does not compete with your destiny. It walks beside it. God is preparing something that is deeper than attraction, something stronger than emotion, something built on trust, on friendship, on commitment, on faith. The name will matter, but the life you build together will matter even more. The greatest surprise will not simply be discovering who they are. The greatest surprise will be discovering how naturally they fit into your life, how conversations flow, how trust grows, how peace remains, how your future suddenly becomes easier to imagine. That is how you will know, because what God joins together brings order where chaos once lived. It brings confidence where fear once ruled. It brings hope where disappointment once remained. Stay with this message, because in the next part, God reveals the unmistakable signs that will help you recognize this person when your paths finally cross. Those signs may be much closer than you think. There are signs that cannot be forced. There are moments that cannot be manufactured. And there are connections that only God can arrange. The person chosen for you will not enter your life like everyone else did. Something will feel different. Not louder, not more dramatic, just deeper. The first thing you may notice is peace. Not excitement that disappears after a few days. Not confusion that keeps you awake at night, but a quiet confidence. A feeling that your heart no longer has to fight to be seen. This person will make you feel accepted before you ever feel judged. That is one of the first signs. Another sign is consistency. They will not disappear without explanation. They will not leave you wondering whether they care. Their actions will begin matching their words. Slowly, naturally, without pressure. God is showing that this person has learned the value of keeping promises. They understand that trust is built one small decision at a time. And because they understand that, they will guard your heart instead of playing with it. You may also notice something unusual. Conversations with them will feel effortless. Hours may pass without either of you noticing. Silence will not feel uncomfortable. Instead, silence will feel safe. You will discover that you do not have to pretend. You do not have to impress them. You do not have to become someone else to earn their attention. They will appreciate who you already are. That is rare. And that is one reason God chose them. Because in the final part, the deeper purpose behind this relationship will be revealed. You will understand why this connection is about much more than romance. It is about purpose, healing, legacy, and the future God has been preparing for both of you since the very beginning. This person also carries a quiet strength. When problems appear, they will not immediately run away. They will look for solutions. When misunderstandings happen, they will choose communication over distance. When life becomes difficult, they will choose partnership instead of escape. This is the kind of love heaven has been preparing for you. Not perfect, but faithful. Not flashy, but dependable. Not temporary, but lasting. You may recognize this person through small moments rather than one dramatic event. Perhaps you meet them again after a long time. Perhaps someone unexpectedly introduces you. Perhaps their name suddenly begins appearing more often. Or perhaps one simple conversation changes everything. God often works through ordinary moments that later become extraordinary memories. Do not overlook simple beginnings. Many lifelong love stories begin with ordinary conversations. The miracle is not always how people meet. The miracle is who they become together. Comment 444. If you believe God is preparing the right person at the right time. Comment 444 if you are choosing peace over confusion. There is another important sign. This person will encourage your purpose. They will not compete with your calling. They will celebrate your growth. They will support your dreams. They will want to see you become everything God created you to become. That kind of support is not common. It is a gift. God is also showing that this person respects your boundaries. They will not pressure you into becoming someone you are not. They will not manipulate your emotions. They will not use fear to keep you close. Instead, they will create an environment where trust grows naturally, where honesty becomes normal, where love becomes a place of rest, instead of constant uncertainty. Their greatest quality may not be something everyone notices. It may simply be their character, the way they treat people when no one is watching, the kindness they show without expecting recognition, the humility they carry, the patience they have learned through life's hardest seasons. Those qualities will become more valuable than appearance, more valuable than popularity, more valuable than anything temporary, because those are the qualities that build a lasting future. God says this person has prayed for things they never told anyone. They have cried private tears. They have faced disappointments that changed them forever. Those experiences did not make them bitter. They made them wiser. And now those lessons are preparing them to love you differently. Perhaps you have wondered why your heart never fully settled with anyone else. Perhaps every relationship felt incomplete. Perhaps something always seemed missing. God says there was a reason. Your soul was waiting, not for perfection, but for alignment, not for fantasy, but for the person whose heart had been shaped through the same kind of refining process as yours. Very soon, pieces that once made no sense will begin fitting together. Conversations, places, names, memories, unexpected meetings, even delays. Everything will begin pointing toward one truth. God was never ignoring your prayers. He was preparing the answer. Stay with this message, because in the final part, the deeper purpose behind this relationship will be revealed. You will understand why this connection is about much more than romance. It is about purpose, healing, legacy, and the future God has been preparing for both of you since the very beginning. This connection is about far more than romance. It is about purpose. It is about healing. It is about becoming the people God always intended you to be. The person He has chosen for you is not entering your life simply to make you happy. They are entering your life to help you become stronger, wiser, more peaceful, more complete. Together, you will encourage each other to grow. You will challenge each other to become better. You will remind each other of God's promises during seasons when life feels uncertain. This is not the kind of relationship that depends only on feelings. It is built on something much deeper. It is built on trust, on respect, on patience, on faith. And because it is built on those foundations, it will continue standing when difficult seasons come. God never promised a life without challenges, but He does promise to provide the right people to help us walk through them. This person is one of those gifts. They will celebrate your victories. They will comfort you during your disappointments. They will believe in you when you struggle to believe in yourself. And one day, you will look back and realize why every delay was necessary. You will understand why certain doors remained closed, why certain relationships ended, why certain prayers seemed unanswered. Everything was leading you here. Everything was preparing both of you for this meeting. The name that once seemed hidden will become familiar. The face that once seemed unknown will become home. The future that once felt uncertain will begin to unfold one step at a time. God is asking you to trust Him a little longer. Do not allow fear to convince you that you have been forgotten. Do not let disappointment become stronger than hope. Your story is still being written, and some of the most beautiful chapters have not even begun. The person chosen for you is also walking through their own season. They may not know your name yet, or perhaps they do. They may be praying for someone exactly like you, asking God to prepare their future husband, their future wife, without realizing that the answer to that prayer is already being guided toward them. Heaven is working on both sides. God is arranging conversations, opening doors, closing wrong opportunities, protecting both of you from connections that would have delayed your purpose. Nothing has been wasted. Not your tears, not your waiting, not your disappointments. God has seen every prayer, every silent cry, every lonely night, every moment you wondered if love would ever find you. And today He wants you to know that your waiting has not been meaningless. It has been preparation. The right person will not arrive to complete you. They will arrive ready to walk beside you. Together, you will build something neither of you could have built alone. A future filled with trust, with peace, with laughter, with forgiveness, with shared dreams, with unwavering commitment. That is the kind of love God desires for His children. A love that reflects patience, kindness, faithfulness, and grace. If this message has spoken to your heart, comment 555 below. Let it be your declaration of faith. Write 555 if you believe God is preparing the right person for you. Write 555 if you are choosing faith over fear. Write 555 if you trust that God's timing is always perfect. And if this message encouraged you today, share it with someone who may need this reminder. You never know whose hope could be restored through a single act of kindness. Remember this as you leave. Do not chase what God has not chosen. Do not settle for what brings confusion. Do not mistake temporary attention for lasting love. The person God has prepared for you will bring peace before passion, respect before romance, commitment before convenience. They will not make you question your value. They will remind you of it. They will not constantly leave you wondering where you stand. They will make their intentions clear. And when that day comes, your heart will understand why every delay happened, why every goodbye was necessary, why every lesson mattered, because everything was leading you toward this moment. God says, "My child, keep your heart open. Keep your faith strong. Keep walking forward. The person I have prepared for you is also being prepared for you. When the time is right, I will bring your paths together. And when I do, no confusion will remain. Only peace, only purpose, only the beginning of the future I planned for both of you." Thank you for staying until the very end. May God bless you. May He guide your steps. May He protect your heart. And may He lead you to the person He has lovingly prepared for your life. Your story is not over. In many ways, it is only just beginning.